We're back with the Skyline Cup. We have Ugly Gary against Luna Meow. Another best of 5 series. We are in the losers bracket and our first map is Infernal Shrines. So a couple of things just to get that out of the way. The Skyline Cup is a tournament hosted on the Asia server with Taiwanese, Chinese and Korean teams and players. And there is a prize money of roughly $4,000 on the line here. Now, there was a little bit of commotion. We had 8 teams with a double elimination bracket, but some of the teams had to forfeit certain games they were supposed to play. So there was a little bit of back and forth, and that had an effect on the bracket too. Luna Meow, for example, they didn't actually lose in the winner bracket. So they made it through the first round. They won in the round of 8 in the winner bracket, moved on to the winner bracket semi-final, but had to then forfeit their match in the winner bracket semi-final because some of their players, apparently on short notice, couldn't make it, and therefore they dropped down into the losers bracket, which is where we are right now. So we're down to the last 5 teams, which means that a lot of the teams that are just meh have already been completely washed out of the tournament. But now Ugly Gary goes up against Luna Meow. And Ugly Gary, they lost in... oh god, I think they lost in the first round of the winner bracket, but then they won a match in the losers bracket. So they are here, they made their way through all of this. And yeah, that's pretty much all for now. So yeah, but the interesting thing about Ugly Gary is I finally know who Gary is. I was in some of the earlier games speculating that they're talking about Gary the Gargantuan and they're calling him ugly, and I didn't really understand why, and I found that pretty insulting. But apparently Gary is their side laner. So the off laner for the blue team was called Gary at some point, and he changed his nickname. I don't know if Gary is also his real name or like maybe his Western name or whatever, but he seems to be ugly, or the team is just making fun of him. One of the two things, but that's who they are talking about. And it's kind of funny. I haven't seen pictures, so I can't judge for myself, but the team is having apparently quite a bit of fun with this. Now we got Vala banned, we have Diablo here in Infernal Shrines also banned out, Lucio as a first pick. Some of the games in the previous rounds were maybe more on the wonky side with some of the picks that were taken. And as I already explained, they are oftentimes in these tournaments, you're really looking at a couple of top teams all the way up at the top, and some other teams, you know, that are just filling the spots that have a chance to make it into the top 8, see if they can maybe break through, get some training in against the good teams. And therefore you sometimes have just weird picks. And we had, I mean, we had Tigers with Drill, we had a lot of Suljin, and of course then also the infamous Murky Cho'Gall game. Now, I'm not saying that we're not going to see any picks that are different from the Western meta. In fact, I actually expect that some heroes will still be taken that are not being seen all that much. But it should be interesting what the teams are now going to try and pull off here, since we're really getting into that top 4, where the teams are definitely on a higher skill level than some of the earlier ones. So with that, we have the ban on Sergeant Hammer. Don't want to deal with that. And, well, with Leo already picked, they really like Leoric, by the way. They prioritize him so high, much higher than, for example, Blaze, as you can see here. So Blaze hasn't been played yet. Well, has been played in the tournament, but he has not been played over Leoric. We have Jojo now banned out, so clearly targeting tanks against the blue team. We don't have the side laner yet either, but Blaze would be a great choice here. Yeah, Blaze would be a fantastic choice, but they're going Varian and they're going Sonya. Okay, the father-son duo over here. Alright, alright. Yeah, Varian coming straight in with the attack, and an Anduin can save the day if need be. Sonya on top of that too. It's going to be interesting to see if they're going to take another frontliner as well. So the red team finally coming in with the last 2 picks, and we are seeing a Tracer going double Overwatch already with Lucio here. Tracer to maybe chase down Hanzo a little bit. And Genji! Oh damn, they go triple Overwatch all of a sudden. And now we have Tracer, Genji and Lucio. Yeah, that could get wild. Not your typical Infernal Shrines draft, but definitely something that could very quickly hit that backline and hit it hard. So what is the final player going to pick now to try and counterbalance that a bit? And also Tracer picked into Varian, by the way, and they're taking Alarak on top of that. Alright, let's go, boys. Ugly Gary against Luna Meow. We have game number 1 coming up on Infernal Shrines. Game number 1. Here we go, everybody. We have Luna Meow going up against Ugly Gary. And on the left side, the blue team rocking it with Varian, Alarak, and Sonya at the front line. Anduin supporting from the back together with Hanzo is chipping in the range damage. And on the right side, what we're having is Luna Meow with Genji, Tracer. We have a Nubarak, Leoric, and also Lucio. So a very aggressive lineup that they're running here, especially with the 2 Overwatch damage dealers coming in from the backline. Now, technically, just looking at the name recognition, I would definitely favor Luna Meow in this particular series, but this is a best of 5, so we'll tell what's happening. Again, this is a loser bracket. Luna Meow dropped into the losers bracket because they had to forfeit one of their matches in the winner bracket, but at least in the first round where they played out their series, they absolutely crushed it. So I am a bit skeptical if Ugly Gary can really hold a candle to that or not. And so far, at least, it looks like it's going to be the red team that is showing the aggression here. They're already diving deep for Alarak, who has started things with the overwhelming power. And yeah, we'll see later on in the game if Alarak can maybe turn the tides here. I mean, they got some stuns, right? They can always start with... Oh, hello. Lucio nearly dying here. That one was quick. Yeah, once that variant starts to come in with a stun, it pretty much sets up Alarak perfectly for a combo. And of course, if they want to go completely berserk, they could also drop Leap onto Sonya later on in the game. And then get an added stun there. I can't miss that target. If they're really going for that much explosive aggression, that's a very different question though, and a bit skeptical about it, but yeah. But right now we have the camps claimed, the 1 minute marker has passed, the mercenary camps on the map, and the first siege camp is taken with the Khaldor locked in. We have Leoric, as explained earlier, with a very, very high priority here in the meta between the Asian teams. And of course he brings a lot of AoE, especially later on for the shrines, but also before that for the wave clear. And here we go. And talking about talents, I mean, we got a Beetle build right now for Nubarak. We also have at the same time now Leoric with the Austin's renewal. And keep in mind, Nubarak was actually one of the best performing tanks at the Heroes International in Miami, where we had all 3 regions, 3 major regions represented. And that obviously stands in stark contrast to what's oftentimes happening in Storm League. But that is easily explained. So the reason why Nubarak is doing much better is that Storm League is an uncoordinated shit show, whereas actual competitive play centers around teams that know what they're doing. And therefore a dive tank like a Nubarak, played with the proper composition, is performing much, much better there. So we got 1 kill already, thanks to that, with the initial stun and the follow-up. We have Luna Meow now setting themselves a little bit apart here. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. So as expected, the red team is pulling ahead. They are the favorites. And they are also taking the camp and have a level lead at this point. Taunt is in, and we'll see what they can do with that taunt. We'll see if they're able to get a few kills now. But for the time being, Varian is in real trouble, and with a bit of body blocking, he might actually die here. He goes for the taunt, and Alarak comes in to help him out. But still, a lot of HP lost here for Varian. Shrine is about to open up as well. And very, very curious now how the blue team is reacting, because they're still a level behind. That's already a stats disadvantage. I like that they're taking the camp. That's something that Luna Meow is currently not doing, and that is a big oversight. But level 7 should be available at some point or another for the red team during this fight, and they've already pulled ahead a little bit. So this is going to set the pace of the game, at least to an extent. Half a level until level 7. I really don't like how they're playing this, and now Nubarak is down. They were kind of asking for it here. With a bit more patience, they could have locked in a talent lead very easily, given that there's still a minion wave in the mid lane and down here at the bottom. So, huge mistake in my eyes from Luna Meow. And now they're losing a second one. Leoric is dead too. If you're going up against a variant composition, you need to expect them to be aggressive around level 4. That is when one of their power spikes is hitting. So, this looks more and more like Ugly Gary is walking away with the first one here. Yeah, nicely done. Luna Meow. Honestly, that looked a little bit like amateur hour. They didn't take their camp up at the top. And again, these guys have a lot of experienced players. There's no excuse for them to not pull this off. There's a couple of Koreans on there. Buyo is, of course, somebody that you will recognize. They had a great start in the winner bracket too. But this one was definitely a little bit more on the meh side. Not taking your camp and then not using that talent, or that big experience lead that they had to move to an early level 7, that was definitely a problem. And just diving into a Varian, that was not really well done. So, yeah. But either way, game, of course, has switched a little bit. We still have a slight lead for them, but we'll see what they can pull off from here on out now. As you can tell, another attempt at a kill, and that's exactly how you need to play the variant composition if you're going for that. And they get another kill. Once again, we have a Nuburak dying. So what the blue team is currently doing is pretty much exactly what they need to do. They're sitting there playing heavily around Varian and his taunt. That's the whole idea. You come in, you taunt, you get a combo unleashed from Alarak. I've been talking about this a bit at the beginning of the game. And you drop the damage. So they've been blowing up 3 targets now, and Luna Meow just doesn't really have a sustain tank. So they are the ones that need to engage in these fights. Lucio also nearly done goofed here as he moved in to harass especially Sonya a little bit. And then Varian comes around the corner, and Lucio all of a sudden remembered that he had he had a couple of things to do, like somewhere else. But yeah. So we'll see a little bit on how exactly the red team is going to bring this back. Level 10 is going to change a lot here, especially with the Cocoon on the side of Nuburak. But again, the team fights are going to be interesting. It's just a bit weird to me that the red team has thrown away an advantage that was so crystal clear that they had. I mean, being 1 level ahead as the first objective spawns is insane. All you gotta do is get to level 7 and use the talent advantage to dominate the fight, or at least give yourself a better chance, and you're golden. Now, it seems like we're gonna exchange structures as both teams are making a play for the fort. And honestly, if both of them go down, that's actually a win for the red team. This one was already damaged, the wall was already gone, and at the top side, they basically broke through everything. So this is a win for Luna Meow. They structurally have now picked this up again, but they still need to defend over here. We got the deadly charge, so very aggressive from Alarak. Apparently they want to fight now too. Not everybody has picked talents yet, but Sonya has got... Oh, that could be the stun. Yeah, well, they're trying to dive in. Cocoon has already been used. Anduin is in trouble. Yeah, well, no more trouble for him. He's dead. And the Entomb hits hard on Alarak, but they can't take him down. Nice! The taunt! Into the meme strike. I like it. Well done. That was a real solid combo. And yeah, that shouldn't have happened. Overstaying a bit too much. I mean, here you see Anduin explode. He dies quickly. And then after this, we have the taunt coming in. Bam, right there. And the meme strike. A good kill. And, well, that's 4 kills to 2. So it's a bit of a back and forth game right now. I actually like it. This is kind of fun. Bit unexpected, but fun nonetheless. So Genji hasn't really made any big moves yet. But I like that the team is diligent around the camp again, when we have the objective now spawning up. That also means that they are technically a bit late to the party, but since the red team is not trying to take advantage of that, nothing's happening. Yeah, taunt is now being counterbalanced. Anduin went for the bubble! Anduin went for the word. There's a holy word. It's amazing. It's absolutely tremendous. Sad. Everybody says so. So yeah, Anduin can bubble it up a little bit, and he does exactly that. And Anubara gets caught and gets farmed again. Anub got wrecked. Ah, the kill, but no reset, and Genji is still getting out. So they come in for the counter kill at least. Kill for a kill. Everybody can technically still fight for the objective. But yeah, this is a fun one. A lot of aggression thanks to the variant composition. The counter attacks that are now slowly coming. And Anduin even moving in for the bubble, which we don't get to see all that much. And yeah, me like it. So right now we got 20 against 18. And Varian is still zipping around trying to follow up on Genji, which didn't work out, but he has the taunt ready, so they could go for the attack again. Yeah, there's the go. Do they have the Cocoon? Not yet. Oh, nice Entomb! Directly for Anduin. If they can take the Crybaby down, that would be huge, and he has no chance. The Crybaby's gone, and Nuburak dies again. But without the support, there's a good chance that the red team can maybe bring this over time. And I say that, and then Tracer dies. So, yep, it seems like the blue team might just be able to pull this off after all. The arrow, the meme strike went completely the wrong way, but they get the kill on Leoric regardless. 35 to 39, and there it is, the kill on Genji, but the objective has been taken. Lucio makes it out, but they get the Punisher. 9 kills to 4. What a game. Yeah, this is getting a bit bananas, honestly. Now this Punisher shouldn't really do a whole lot. Maybe clean up the wall, but that should be the end of it. But Ugly Gary is doing so much better than I initially thought they would here. So that is pretty respectable what they're doing. Now, a lot of these mistakes on the side of Luna Meow feel a little bit like they're unforced. Especially the ones at the beginning of the game, I'd say. The last team fight was pretty straight up slugfest though, where everybody was just trying to go for the big hits. But on the macro level, I gotta admit that the red team is a little bit disappointing on the macro level. Taking this camp for the second time now outside of the objective is a bit of an issue, and they could definitely put more pressure onto the top lane if they would time it differently. Now, at this point in time, they got that top lane pressure going for them, so maybe they can now set up a push through the bottom of the map in order to capitalize on this at least a little bit. There's also always the chance that they have, maybe a move going on for a kill here. They're trying to drive for Alarak. Taunt is out. Anduin bubbling it up a little bit, and there's the meme strike. They're dodging out on most of it here, so a lot of ults are getting exchanged. No other big moves are being made just yet. Nobody dying either. But when it comes to ults, I mean, more or less nearly an even exchange. Maybe a little bit advantageous for the blue team since a lot of their cooldowns are very low and will be back sooner, especially, of course, when we're talking Taunt. And talking about Taunt, Anubarak is again the target. Now, that hasn't changed from the beginning. As you can see, he died 4 times already. Definitely not the track record that you necessarily want to have here. But, yeah, that's just what it is. And they go for him again. Time and time again, they're making their move, and yes, he's dead once more. Attempt at a save. So is Anzo. Anzo got killed, and now they're going for variants. So yeah, the fight isn't over. They are totally willing to brawl this one out. We've seen that a lot already in these games. They're just brawling all day, every day. And it's wild. It's a bit wild here. So, with level 16 talents now kicking in, there's a slight advantage for the team in blue. And right now, it's again time for the next objective. This time it's a top shrine, so that doesn't really matter too much. And yep, playing around there with the vision a little bit, but we are back to the full bird's eye view on this one, with the epicenter now logged in. Obviously the double pull with the Glyph of Faith for Anduin, and the Mithril Mace with Leo going for the auto attacks on level 13 and 16. Shrine being announced, camps all claimed. And this one is gonna hit hard. I mean, this could honestly be... yeah, this could have been a kill. Careful, my friend. This could be the first keep of the game. Whoever locks in the objective could technically try to go for the first keep here. Always, of course, assuming that they're not losing too many heroes during the battle. But yeah, if you force the opponent back and then can push with the objective, there's always a chance to make that happen now. Leo slowly coming topside too, so they are already going for a bit of an attack. Wait for your 5th, my friends. 5th is there, and here we go. Position has already been taken. Blue team is taking the early lead. There's the taunt, there's the combo. This continuous taunting from Varian and the combo from Alarak is working. Meme Strike is not working though. That one didn't hit anything, but jack shit. And that's the end of Anduin. Can they get the counter kill though? Yes, they can. And Alarak with a double kill. Oh, crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. Alarak just murdered that. Both are down and they're killing Leo. Everybody on the blue team is low, but they are still alive. And yeah, now Anduin out of the equation, but they don't even need him anymore. So yeah, big hits right there. Check Alarak out. So first the kill against Anduin, and then Alarak just absolutely turning it up to 11, getting the combo off against 2 of them and diving in deep to get the hit. 13 kills to 6 now, and we're looking at an objective for the blue team. And with Anduin back, they could even delay this. I actually am not really happy with them taking this right away. That makes little sense. They should have delayed it a little bit more for Anduin. I don't think it's making that much of a difference, but it could. They could have kept it at 39, could have waited another 10 seconds, give Anduin a little bit of time and space to move up top, and then try and make their play. Now, this one would have been lost anyways. They're trying to get now some pressure relieved in the middle of the map with Sonya. Anduin is making his way over, but the bait has already happened. So, right now, they are hoping to get a bit more damage done, but again, there's only 3 heroes here. Unlikely. Anduin is back late. They get damage on the keep. I really think they have a shot at taking this one. And I also really think they should have coordinated this better with the whole 5-man. It's still not out of the realm of possibilities, but it's going to be a little bit harder right now. It's definitely taking damage now, already starting to pinging it a bit. The defense has happened though. Fort in the middle of the map, losing hit points. But yeah, I think they could have done more here. Delaying the Punisher by a couple of seconds was definitely the right play here, and then you could have pushed this a bit more aggressively. This keep is so low, it feels like that was a wasted opportunity to get even further ahead in the game. But they have that 1 level lead, of course, and that gets them to level 20 a little bit quicker. As long as they also defend here in the middle, this is definitely a win for them. Bot lane also continuously pushing. This time the entire wall has, well, most of the wall has been destroyed, so they're only looking at a single tower here. Whereas the red team is still trying to bring this back. Yeah, Frowny Cloud over here. Camp is taken again. That will relieve some top lane pressure, so the keep is not going to be in too much trouble. But the big issue is still level 20. So once that it's ready, the blue team will have that lead. And in the meantime, what we're seeing is mid lane push stopped by Sonya. And up at the top, the camp is now going to get slowly but steadily towards its goal. They got to soak a level. They got to soak an entire level here. Damage output of 33,000 for Genji. Seems like Sonya is not going to make it. Doesn't even get a lot of an assist. It's taking them a while to take her down, but now it's a 5 versus 4. Level 20 isn't here yet either. And yes, there's already the cocoon and the kill. They are bringing it back with a late game team fight. Everybody is alive, even with the combo from Alarak, and now he's dead too. All of a sudden it's a triple kill. And guys, what's happening? 4 heroes down, 20 versus 20. Big push through the middle. The fort wide open and gets taken apart. With the cooldown reduction, Hanzo can drop a second ult, but they are looking for the camp and maybe even some top lane pressure. Luna Meow popping off at the right moment in time, struggling through the early and mid game, but now in the late game getting a quad kill that helps them to push the top side. That's a double camp that we're talking about. That is a double. This keep is gone if they play their cards right. Leo has moved back to save the bot lane. There's at least the ult from Hanzo, but he needs to be real careful. I mean, he's low. Our boy is really low. But now it's a double camp that is pushing through. Sonya is back, but it's another 10 seconds for Anduin. There is no way to save the keep here. This is ridiculous. The keep is gone. Mad lead now all of a sudden for Luna Meow. And the shrine is activating, and they're taking even more camps on the map to gain additional pressure. So the red team has taken the lead again. The red team, all they needed was one good team fight. They went up into the mid lane, ganked Sonya, played a 5 versus 4 out properly, killed 4 heroes. Alara couldn't really pull it off as they were trying to turn the tides, and then they capitalized on it and the high death timers by going for structures. Alarak is top damage in the game, by the way. He's at 54,000, so you need to control him more than anything else in this game to make this work. But this has definitely changed the balance a lot. Who wins the objective, though? Up to this point, Ugly Gary won every single objective. They're going for Alarak. Hanzo, he's dead. Hanzo dead. The buried alive on Varian. The bubble is out. Anduin doesn't get interrupted here, at least late, but he dies. And Luna Meow is just crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. Luna Meow with 1 kill after another. 5-man team wipe as they're coming in, dropping the entire blue team and go for the core. Insane turnaround. 3 killed by Genji as it pops off with this ult. Now we're moving on to the core, and it's just insane. 28 kills in total in this one. And yeah, Luna Meow, they're pulling it off. They have the game, 15 kills on their side, and it's a lead in the best of 5 series in the losers bracket for the red team. GG and well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Okay, Sky Temple, map number 2. Luna Meow in the lead after they struggled a bit in the early game on Infernal Shrines. They were still able to take the game. This is a best of 5, this is a loser bracket, so whichever team loses is out. And apparently the blue team agreed that Tracer is just not somebody that they want to deal with. Now, I personally wouldn't really be shocked if at some point in this series we're going to see a ban against either Alarak or Varian, considering that this aggressive engage and sniper composition that the blue team played did really well for them and nearly forced out a victory. And so, time will tell what's going on here. And yeah, it should be an interesting... There it is! Varian gets banned immediately, so yeah, good on them. But yeah, kind of funny. Okay. Yeah, by the way, as we're heading into the draft, something that people already asked throughout the tournament. So yes, the t-shirts and all of this stuff, we finally created some Khaldor merch after people have been asking for this for a long time. So if you watch this on YouTube right now and are also asking yourself, like, what the hell is he wearing and what is that? You can just drop down into the video description and there should be a link to the shop and you can check it out. So we got some mugs and some t-shirts and got a couple of ideas for more stuff, but it all depends of if people really like this, enjoy this, and if this is something that you guys like. But yeah, for the last couple of years people have always said I should do that. I've always ignored it, and after some people pestered me very very diligently, now we finally put some effort in and done that. So yeah, I hope that you have some fun with this. But yeah, again, link in the description. In the game at hand, we have a Dehaka first pick, so he was banned on the last map, but unfortunately Vala and Sylvanas are also banned out. Apparently they don't like strong women. It's unfortunate, but apparently the teams are heavily sexist. Like, a lot of strong women have been banned out. Tracer, Vala, and also Sylvanas. They also banned Varian, so yeah, that's just not cool. We get a Nubarak again, so apparently after he was formed in game number 1, they still absolutely believe in the power of a Nubarak. I mean, for good reason, he won them the game, essentially. We get Lucia together with it too, and now that they also removed Varian as one of the main problems, that could definitely work out for them. Greymane gets put in, we got Johanna on Sky Temple. I would have more seen her on the last map. To be fair, she was banned towards the end, so there's that. But yeah, Sign with Greymane now. Bit more curious about the damage for the red team. That's something that actually interests me quite a bit. Now, we got Brightwing banned out, so no globals there. They already have their Hakas, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Talking about worrying, I'm a bit curious to see how much Luna Meow is going to worry about having a global, because technically Falstad is still up and could be played. Could help them on the side lane, if they really want to do that. But we'll see. Well, seems like they're also a bit hesitant. Are they going to ban the birdie? I don't think so. No, they banned Leo. Yeah, Leo, again, Leo is insanely high in priority for these teams. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's obviously good, and especially in Infernal Shrines and other maps. But there are definitely some differences with the meta here on the Asia server compared to the Western scene. And the high pick and ban pattern for Leo is one of them. They don't respect Blaze all that much. In the European scene and also North America, you would more so see Blaze picked and banned the way that they are dealing with Leoric here. And Sonya is much higher in priority than she is in the Western scene. She was played on the last map, she's played on the second map now too. So, yep, a lot of that. We get Alarak again and Stukov. I mean, damn son, they really believe in the Alarak player. Now, he murdered in game number 1. But let's not forget that also a lot of the kills that he had and a lot of the combos that he executed were set up by Varian and his taunt. So that makes things a little bit easier for him. If they can do that again here, that's a very different question. But still, dangerous lineup that they're running, of course. With the last pick now coming in. A bit more damage is needed. Genji played a big role in the last game. And they go for Jaina. Alright, so they're adding a Dreadlord to the game. Okay. Yeah, a bit of burst damage here, especially after the Nubarak engage. Alright. Sky Temple, everybody. Let's check this out. Let's see which team takes it. Are we going to see the 2-0 lead, or is Ugly Gary going to put a point on the board now? Sky Temple, map number 2. Game number 2, we got Stukov as a support on the blue team side. We have Johanna and Dehaka plus Alarak at the front, and Greymane played for the main damage here, next to Alarak, of course. On the right side of the map, we have the team in the lead. We got Luna Meow, and they are rocking Jaina this time. So a lot of wave clear, a lot of AoE damage, and also slows that she can contribute during the fights. We have a double front line with the Nubarak and Sonya, so a little bit more on the squishy end, but very aggressive in the way that they can approach and engage, with Lucio speeding them up a little bit, and then also Genji to come in again as he did in the last game to drop people. On level 1, the Laws of Hope. Again, meta obviously a little bit different here on the Asia server, as you can tell. So it's always nice to see some different metas, but there have been some wild ones. And especially on the talent side, there are just small and subtle differences in the way that the players here are approaching the game. And again, players either from China, Taiwan, or Korea. Those are where most of the players here are from. So for now, we got our top lane established with Sonya going up against Dehaka. We got the Fingers of Frost for Jaina. And yeah. Fingers of Frost is a talent name that you don't need. Jaina's a woman. All women have Fingers of Frost. Everybody that has a girlfriend and is watching this, has a wife or whatever, knows exactly what I'm talking about. They're born with Fingers of Frost and they always warm them by making us cold. That's just how it goes. That's one of the laws of nature. Women have cold hands and men need to suffer the consequences. Right, so yeah, that name wasn't needed. We know. We do know that you could have named it anything else. There's no information given here. This is one of those things that you read as a guy and you're like, duh. So yeah. At the same time now, we got the push for the camps. So both teams are going for the siege giant camps. We have all the way at the top, the first camp going through. I mean, honestly, if they come in and call the first talent Fingers of Frost, they could call the second talent Your Side of the Bed Belongs to Me Too. It's just like, if we're talking about Captain Obvious statements, I mean, that's another one. Third talent is called The Blanket Is Mine. I mean, if we're talking about like talents for Jaina, those are the names that you need to talk about. Fingers of Frost, Your Side of the Bed Belongs to Me, The Blanket Is Mine. That's pretty much just what it is. Top lane pushed by the blue team now, both on level 4. We have the entire... I actually like that the Dehaka transitioned to the bot lane. That's where he should be before the first objective spawns, because we have the double temple coming up at the top, so he gets the most value out of staying at the bot lane a bit longer. So the old setup for that, really like it. Always try to get the global as far away from the shrines and the temples as you possibly can, so that you get max value out of that. We got still camps. I mean, no kills yet. Camps just eliminated. Everybody's trying to set up small traps here, or at least get some scouting information. But with the temples activating now in 8 seconds, we'll see what exactly is going on here. There's already some slows happening. So yeah, Jaina is coming in and is going full Dreadlord on us, with the Frost Shards here too, slowing them down and getting the multi-hits in. Nice clear, by the way, also on the level 1 with the extra globes that Jojo is currently getting. She's currently sitting at 10, so a little bit more self-heal for themselves. But, yep, with that, Dehaka, he's starting to come in. He pushed another wave out on the bottom of the map, and they're going for the first kill, or they're trying. And there it is. Sonya is dead, and the blue team gets the hit in. Stukov came in with a big slap, slapped him out. I mean, with that arm, you know that he is going to pack a punch. I love how everybody, by the way, just jumped onto the middle temple. They didn't even send anybody towards the top. They were just like, what do you mean we can trade temples? What do you mean we can trade shots? So we can just brawl it out on the first objective and fight. That's exactly what they did. So yeah, second kill. Alarak coming in again. And I'm pretty sure that in game number 3 there's a high chance that we're going to see Alarak banned. They banned Varian the last time and said, okay, we can deal with it. Let's just ban Varian. Yeah, they banned Varian and thought they can deal with Alarak, but that wasn't quite the case. Now it seems like Jaina is also going to die, ripped apart by Greymane and Stukov, and that's 3 kills to 0. So we're pretty much going into a very similar game to what we experienced on the first map. Early on, Ugly Gary just crushing it. Varian or no Varian, they don't give a shit. They just come in and they take people down. So the kills are happening. The only thing that they have to prevent is that they are getting wiped again in the late game. But this is a very different map and a very different objective. I like that they're stealing at least the siege giants, because topside, they are likely gonna lose their fort. That's just way too much damage. In the middle of the map also, a lot of damage has been done here. They're diving in for Nubarak right now, trying to get him. And at the bottom of the map, Diaga's a little bit alone. He's going to try his best to deal with Siege Giants and drag them into the range of the fort. But this structure is gone. Nothing to do about that. But at least they got the camps. Question is simply, can they recover? And that's a big question mark, because it's a half-level lead. Structurally, the blue team has pulled ahead. They are also in a spot where they should get the early level 10, and it might even help them to get a lead on the bottom shrine, on the bottom temple once that it spawns. So, yeah. Ooh, and that's another kill. Jaina is dead again. Jojo takes out, so Blondie against Blondie. Jojo doesn't like competition. She saw Jaina coming in here, and she's like, who is that blonde bitch on the other side? And she didn't like that at all. She wants the attention. She knows that once Jaina is gone, she is top queen in the game. Sonya just can't hold a handle to that. So yeah, Jaina, she had no prayer here. Jojo went in and said, like, she's mine. I'm gonna take her down quickly, and then I'm going to be the queen of the Nexus. So that's exactly what happened there. And with Jaina gone, Jojo is gonna reign supreme. But they also have level 10. So that gives us the Blessed Shield. We also have, in this case, the Counter-Strike instead of the Deadly Charge. But with both teams now dropping their level 10 abilities, this is kind of the moment where Luna Meow is slowly starting to have a chance to fight this one back. We got the Water Elemental, so they have a bit more control. Hello? What? I mean, kind of committed. And they're just sneaking this one. And apparently nobody on the side of Ugly Gary is questioning where they are. Look at Alarak. He's playing it super safe because he's just like, they are trying to gank me. They're not trying to gank you, bro. They're trying to get the boss. And they might not be able to do that. They come in late, but they're still arriving. And all of a sudden, it's a potential kill against Jaina. And she gets absolutely manhandled by this. Ult is out, Alarak is dead. What a timing by the blue team. They made it work, they get the kills, and they take the boss. Jojo is dead, but so is Sonya, and that is a disaster. The idea was a little bit sneaky. If they have Sonya helping out, they're getting this one, but what a fight. There was a sliver left on the objective as Jojo moved in, and she sacrificed her life for this. But yep, the boss is gone. Kills have been had. It's a 1.5 level lead. The fort is destroyed. The fort in the middle is now going to be shot to pieces by the shrine. And that's... it's an utter disaster for Luna Meow. I mean, a total disaster. Are you kidding me? Yeah, good luck with that, boys. I don't know how they want to recover here, but it is not going to be an easy feat in the slightest. They're going to be in real trouble on this one. Now, all the way up at the top, we still have also Sonya dealing with things a little bit. I mean, she's trying to do her best, don't get me wrong, but yeah, this is an absolute nightmare what they're currently experiencing here. This is really, really rough. Down here at the bottom of the map in the meantime, it seems like we're gonna have another little battle as they're going again for Jaina. So Jaina gets nearly murdered here, and with that we have another dragon. Well, she gets murdered. With that we have another dragon on Nubarak and nearly a kill too. But that is getting bonkers. 2 levels ahead nearly. Damage output on Greyman is at 15,000, Alarak is at 14k, and now that they've destroyed every single fort, they're of course hoping to take down these keeps too. And they're starting to make their move here. So yeah, job well done, I gotta say, especially since they're escorting now a ton of Siege Giants through all of this as well. So this is looking fantastic. Mad damage on the keep. Even if they can't take it right now, they're already softening it up a bit for later on in the game. Keep in mind that with the next double temple that gets opened up, we have one opening at the bot lane. So if they control that for just a short period of time, this keep is gone. So they are just looking fantastic here. 8 kills to 1. And I mean, again, we had a similar situation in the first game. Let's not forget that. So a good team fight, a well-coordinated battle in the later stages could still lead to Luna Meow catching up and maybe even getting enough momentum to bring this back. But right now there's a Blessed Shield. They try for Nubarak. There's a lot of ults used. Well, there's an important ult used, one ult used. But here comes the attempt to bring that back, and it is a kill. So Jojo is down, and they are maybe looking for another one here. Can they? No, they can't properly attack this. If anything a little bit more worried by the fact that nobody is moving down to the bottom of the map. Okay, now we have a few of them moving down there. Because the temple in the mid lane is nice, but you really got to be worried about the bot lane more so than anything else, because that's where you're going to lose a keep. What are these people doing? Why are you not protecting this? Alright, so they're going to lose a keep. 5 versus 4 on the map, and they give up their bottom keep. For no reason whatsoever, just because they are sitting in the middle and take a fort down. I don't know what the thought process here is. That bottom keep was... They could have saved that. They could have gone for the bottom temple instead of the top, pushed the bot lane a little bit, and saved that keep for as long as they possibly can. Instead, they give the structure up. So they can get some damage in, of course, now too. Even the bot lane gets attacked. With Alarak holding the bottom of the map, they are still getting the camp here. But it's 16 versus 15. Talent lead as well. And that's an entire level that they got to soak now. So the shots are fired. They are trying to get at least some damage done up here at the top. Not really enough just yet, but I mean, maybe they can do a little bit more with this. If they can go to the Siege Giants, get those, maybe go down to the bottom 4, they can take that one too. But the fight is here and they have to dodge it, they have to avoid it. There's the combo, they took the camp, nice, now they just have to get out. Not that easy, Blessed Shield already being used. Sonya is just moving away from the fight, she doesn't give a shit. The rest dives away, but Jaina cutting it a little bit close. Oh, if she died there, that would have been a disaster. But they are able to get out. I did not really think that they were able to pull it off without losing at least one hero after they got caught there. So now they have the level 16 or Anubarak again, and I guess it's time to chase a little bit. Now they got their talents, the epicenter. One level behind, but still on even talents, so they're going to be fine. They are a bit behind in structure. I mean, they are behind in structures. Boss is back up though, so you can always throw a bit of a Hail Mary on the boss if you really want to. And they are trying to make their play. Yeah, it's not that crazy. I mean, there's still a couple of plays that they can make as long as they win the team fight. But so far, only Johanna has died on their end. Alright, Ice Block is already out. They're going for the combo on Genji. Ah, protected. But there's the dragon. Jaina's dead. Jaina is dead, and that's a lot of the damage gone. I don't think Genji can do anything about this. He's trying to escape here, and he makes it out. Barely, but he does. Sonya gets away too. So they're surviving with everybody else. Only Jaina has fallen. I guess the Anubarak is also gonna be able to get out, but the boss is now wide open, and in a 5 versus 4 situation with the team hightailing it out there, it's an easy decision by Ugly Gary to go for the boss and push for the bot lane, which means you push for core. So are they really trying to go for it? Probably not, but there will still have to be a defense by Luna Meow, which means that the temple is free. And that should drop another keep. And that's the second one then in the game. So the snowball is getting more and more severe here. The snowball is turning quickly into an avalanche. The keep is going to fall 100% with Alarak now taking this. Unless he moves away from the temple, this is going to be a keep for sure. They have to defend so that their core doesn't take damage too. But this is, of course, absolutely disastrous for Luna Meow now. They're in real trouble here. And they cannot know... Yeah, they might lose Sonya again. She's actually turning it for a second, but here comes the drag attempt by Dehaka, but it misses. Okay, so as it stands, the keep has been eliminated. There's some damage here up at the top, so they're opening up the last keep down here. Boss Mai is not going to be able to do damage to the core, I guess. There are 3 catapults coming on the other hand, team. So, yep, nobody's dealing with the catapults right now. I guess the minions are going to deal with it. Core might still lose a couple of points, and does as the catapult fires away. We're down to 98%. They have not given up on this yet either. It would be funny as hell if they could somehow turn the game again, but I think this is going to be so much harder than it was on Infernal Shrines. They are way behind right now. This fight, they have to win it. I don't even know why Ugly Gary is giving them this fight. I really don't get it, but they're winning it anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. 2 down. They're going for number 3. And, well, that should be game, honestly. They get the Blessed Shield out, they go for Anubarak, and now they have level 20 talents. 3 heroes have been eliminated, and the core is wide open. Ugly Gary on the way to put a point onto the board here. Nicely done by them. And a real well-deserved victory. From start to finish, they've been controlling the flow of the game. This time, they didn't shit the bed. This time they actually brought it overtime. So no last minute 5-man wipes against them. They take Genji out too. And that is a 1-1 in the series. Nicely done. Well played. They take Sky Temple and bring us to game number 3 on a clean slate between the two teams here. The best of 5 in the loser bracket continues as Sky Temple goes to the blue team. Well done. Game number 3, Towers of Doom is the map. And Ugly Gary brought it back. Who wants to bet on an Alarak ban? After game number 1 and game number 2, who wants to bet that Alarak is getting banned now? They tried the Varian ban after the first map and thought that Varian was the problem, but maybe after what we've seen right now, these combos, they're hitting a little bit too hard to home. And there it is. Round of applause. Round of applause. Luna Meow reacting. Alarak gets banned, and well, now the blue team has to prove that they can also take down the red team without Alarak chipping in one combo after another. So yeah, here we are. Ugly Gary against Luna Meow. Essentially the series has now been reduced to a best of 3, as it's a 1-1 score between the two teams. But I like it. It's good. This should be fun. Now they have to prove that they can also turn it. I wonder if they're still falling back into Varian. I don't think so. But again, time will tell. And they're not. Somebody doesn't want to risk that. So we have instead Varian and Alarak both eliminated. Yeah, those are some serious respect bans that we're now seeing from Luna Meow. They're like, we kind of hate both of these guys. So how about we just ban out both of them? So yeah. But, well, as it stands, what else is... What do we get as a first pick? That's interesting. That's interesting me more than anything else. Yes, Tracer gets banned again. So does Vala, especially here on the Asia server. Vala is a very high priority in terms of bans, and so is Tracer after game number 1 in particular. The Haka locked in right away, so they're really playing a lot around him here. House of Doom, obviously a map where he excels. Takes the top lane, can always join at the bottom half of the map. Ugly Gary now has to adapt. They are the team who has to adapt the most after 2 of their heroes that they've been relying upon in game number 1 and game number 2 have been banned out. They take Lucio away, so there was a chance for Luna Meow to take Lucio as a first pick for the 3rd time in a row. They decided against it, so now the blue team can be sped up a bit. And we have Johanna once more, with Diablo now coming in also for Luna Meow and Hanzo. And they are pretty quick on those picks. I really feel that they like what they're getting here. So they seem to be pretty happy with the draft that they are locking in for themselves so far. And all of those picks are, of course, fantastic. A lot of vision through Hanzo. You have interrupt potential on any altar channel. Can come in with a couple of hits very quickly too. Especially if you're going for an arrow follow-up with stuns. So we'll see what they can do there. In comes the Genji ban. Yeah, he's been picked twice now by Luna Meow, so it doesn't really shock me too much. Don't want to go up against both Shimadas. They try to protect Diablo by banning out Tychus, so Tychus gets banned out. No, the bigger they are, they can be played. I would have liked to see Tychus just because I want to see if somebody is going to try and pick the drill again. We've seen too many drill games for me to not be interested to see another Tychus. I think most of the top teams have picked Odin as they should, but yeah. Leo is in, and we get Greymane. It's mind-boggling to me that we don't see Blaze in these games. It is incredible. If you are used to a Western playstyle and Western meta, not seeing Blaze picked or banned is just... I don't have words. So they completely ignore him. But Leo all over the place, which I don't mind. I mean, again, Western teams are playing Leoric too. He's great, but still. There comes Anduin, and we get Sylvanas. All right, with Leo on the blue team side, Anduin, the pull-out king, he's going to try and ruin every single entomb that the skeleton is dropping. Last and final pick with his Alarak gone. What are we going to get from their side later here? What is he going to take this time? It's Gul'dan. Okay, so, ladies, we got game number 3. The draft is set up. Towers of Doom is the map. Which team pulls ahead? Let's find out right now. Third map in the best of 5 series here in the losers bracket of the Skyline Cup. Towers of Doom, the blue team with Johanna and Leoric at the front line. We get Gul'dan, interestingly enough, together with Greymane and Lucio for the blue team. They had to adjust, they had to adapt after some of their power picks were banned out during the draft, whereas Luna Meow on the right side is now relying on Sylvanas and Hanzo for damage. We have Dehaka on the side lane, Diablo and Anduin to round the draft off. I really like what they have here. There's a lot of really good picks that they're currently running, and especially from a strategic position, this is a very solid draft. You have a global that you can use, you have still push potential with Sylvanas. We get a drain build, by the way, from Gul'dan, Chaotic Energy. I mean, Gul'dan was always a sucker. So yeah, he's gonna suck out the life force throughout this. But, or at least he's gonna try. We'll see how far he's going down the rabbit hole, if he's going full drain or what we're getting from them. For now, actually, he's just dying. They lost Hanzo too, though, so 2 damage dealers already gone. Greymane is just like moving from one to another. Damn, this is getting crazy, like what the hell? Diablo's also low, they're trying to heal him out, and he's dead. The drag against Leoric is missed, and the blue team again with the double kill at the beginning of the game. Nicely done. A lot of action right here. I gotta say, it's kind of amusing. These team, this is the cool thing about the Asian meta just in general. They're just brawling. They're brawling non-stop. This was always the case in the early days of Heroes of the Storm with the Chinese scene, and now here too. They love to fight, they love to brawl, and they're pretty good at it. So now that we're seeing the camps taken, it's pumpkins on each side that get attacked. A bit of an invade attempt too. And they are committing, apparently. Yeah, they're really going for it. Dehaka needs to join the fun now, and he does. And I think this is going to backfire on the blue team. Especially since the Leoric is a bit late to the party. So Leo is finally there, but they're already playing out of 5 versus 4. Greymane, does he get the kill? No. Sylvanas is still alive. Greymane gets murdered by Hanzo. Diablo dies. The camp is stolen. Everybody's dead and dying. What the hell? They took the camp. It's 4 kills to 4. They stole the camp away. Ah, boy, oh boy. Yeah. Look at this. Jojo the first one to fall, and then it's just an absolute slaughter. A total slaughter with 2 heroes dying on each side. I mean, technically, the blue team lost 3 throughout the fight, but they're still the ones taking the additional camp and pulling ahead by taking the wall down halfway. So, yeah, it's kind of nasty. We are continuing with the health funnel here. So, yeah, Gul'dan is still going for the drain build and is continuing that. Quite a lot of interrupts on the other side, so this might backfire later on in the game. We're going to keep an eye on that. But for now, at least, it's been working out for him. 4 stacks on the level 1. First altars announced too. And, well, let's go. We got Anduin just YOLOing it around a little bit here. He needs to, of course, be careful that he doesn't get caught by an entomb later on in the game. He's the one that can save pretty much anybody. It would be kind of fun if you hit the entomb against Anduin and then he pulls somebody into the entomb. He's like, I'm not dying alone. You gotta help me. Come here. Yeah, that would actually be kind of fun. So, we'll see if that happens. But for now, not something that we have to worry about. So, they are starting to attack the top. Look at this. This is actually interesting. They are trying to steal this, and they are gonna be able to grab it. Can they also keep them occupied down at the bottom, though? Leo, nearly dead, might still die, and he gets away. So Leo gets away, but the altar has been channeled down here. I think if Dehaka would have globaled in, they might have been able to do something about it. They are still walking away with 2 out of the 3 altars, but there's not going to be a 40-0 situation that is going to evolve in this game. So yeah, that's not going to be a thing. So a favorable trade for Luna Meow. And, well, we have level 7 on the horizon for Ugly Gary. Yeah, up at the top with Sylvanas joining it again. They are really double tagging the top lane a lot, so they are not going for another camp. Level 7, full on drain. I mean, he is going to commit completely to it. Curse of Exhaustion on level 7 right now, so yeah, he's gonna go for the full drain in this game. Level 7 on both sides. And with Sylvanas taking the top camp, They could really try and help the Haka to take this wall down. But of course it also creates an imbalance at the bottom of the map where the blue team is running 4 heroes against 3 and has a better position. Hanzo is poking as much as he can, but also needs to be very careful around all of this. Top side, yeah, the Haka still alone against Leo, so they're fighting. Sylvanas has joined the middle of the map and is attempting to make her play here. But we're waiting for level 10 abilities now in particular. Taking a closer look at the damage, we have 11,000 for Gul'dani's top damage for the blue team early on in the game, granted, but still. Yeah, Diablo moving in, trying to get some damage into it. Look who's back, it's the Haka, saying hello, trying to get a drag maybe, not so much. They are trying to get a kill here, but they're also getting a lot of damage pulled on them. And the Haka's dead. He came, he saw, and he died. Veni, Vidi, BG. Diablo also in slight trouble, but with a bit of help from Anduin, you should be able to walk away from this. Nearly a kill on Lucio. He got a bit sneaky there and was trying to dive deep, but couldn't. Still doesn't change the fact that they just lost one of their heroes. Now the Haka is back to business, but let's see what he can pull off here. Because down at the bottom of the map, the fight still continues, and they are on this. So yeah, they're going for Diablo again, and this time he doesn't stand a chance. Now the good news for him... Oh, and Sylvanas is dead too. Sucked dry by Gul'dan, so double kill for the blue team. And they are crushing, absolutely crushing. Ugly Gary is murdering this game. 7 kills to 4. They already had a very solid showing in game number 1, but they got turned around at the last moment by some very solid team fighting from Luna Miao. But in game number 2 and game number 3, they have been really struggling here. I mean, it's another blessed shield as they are hoping to get a kill on Diablo. Some of these seem a bit, I don't want to call it desperate, but maybe a bit, I mean, very, very optimistic. Very ambitious plays. Against an Anduin play, you really want to drop your blessed shield on a Diablo that far out? That seems like a bit of a stretch. Then again, they were the ones running level 10 abilities. It's going to take the red team some time to get their own heroics. So it's something that you can definitely YOLO out. Nothing really lost here, but now both teams have level 10s. So let's see what they can do. They go for the... They love this, by the way. This is actually kind of interesting because this is another big difference between the meta that we're seeing here on the Asian server and what happens in the Western scene. Normally you don't see this one. It's all about the light bomb. Doesn't matter if you have a Genji or not, light bomb is the one to run with. But this is now the second time in this series alone from 2 different teams that we have seen him with the word. And obviously we know who has the best words, all the words. And he's amazing. Everybody says so. He's always talking to the best people. The best word, it's salvation. And sad, it's tremendous. Very tremendous. And he's gonna win the game bigly. If he can. We'll see. Oh yeah, so another kill. Sylvanas down. Guys, they're farming them right now. I gotta say, I'm madly impressed by Luna Miao. Sorry, by Ugly Gary. Luna Miao is getting a kill against them, so they're not completely losing out on this. But still, there is so much pressure coming from the blue team. I had Luna Miao pegged as the favorite. They were definitely one of the favorites in this. They took 2nd place in their group. Oh, beautiful. 2nd place in their group. Timing a bit off for the blue team in the last fight. And nice save also from Anduin as they're getting the double kill. Maybe they have a chance of bringing this back after all. They're now going to take a big lead on at least the objective. But of course they only hold 3 bell towers now against the 5 that are taken by the blue team. Which means we're down to 26 to 32 points. Could have been a lot better for them. But the push is still happening, and with another corner kill potentially, it could... Oh, everybody sucked in! Red team is in real trouble! 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 4 heroes eliminated! This is a nightmare for them again. Ugly Gary with the big plays here. 12 kills to 6. A move into the mid lane. They're already holding a bell tower advantage over the opponent's team, and this is just now getting even worse. What a dominant position now for the team in blue. Now this can always be brought back. This is the comeback map, but wow, that is nasty. I mean, really nasty what we're seeing here. Yeah, I'm super interested to see what's gonna happen now. Because you can come back on Towers of Doom in the late game very easily by just having the better teamfight composition, getting kills and capitalizing on big death timers, trying to get map control again. But with a 6-2 bell tower situation, you know that you're in trouble. So map control has been completely claimed by the blue team, and they don't look like they're going to give it up anytime soon. Yeah, this is pretty spectacular. Even a couple of pumpkins are now being escorted in, as they are, of course, trying to also take the lead on the core points. This is the only, I mean, you could say this is the most important thing, but it's the only aspect where the blue team is trailing behind a bit. But this is only going to last up to the point where more altars are going to spawn on the map. And the saving grace for Luna Meow is right now that there's only a single altar. If we would already look at the triple altar phase, they would fall even farther behind. Another kill attempt as the altar is channeled. Yeah, there's the arrow. Oh, they're all in the corner! And there's the barbecue kill. The shots have been fired, and it's 26 points to 25, but they're losing Leo and Lucio. Oh, and they're losing another one too. Luna Meow bringing it back here, taking Jojo down as well. This game is all over the place. Each team gets some hits in. It's just blow for blow. It's like they completely ignore defense, just go full offense on all of this. So now we have 12 kills to 9. 21 kills in total at the 10-minute mark. The bell towers have been reclaimed. I mean, they're pretty much even at this point. This is a wild game. Yeah, they're pretty much even right here. So in we go. They are trying to use Sylvanas now to get some map control too. Blue team is extending their lead and experience. Is trying to get their lead and experience back, I guess would be the best way to phrase it. But yeah, it's a really, really wild one. There were so many instances where the blue team just got absolutely crushed. I mean, murdered. And they were still able to bring it back in the next team fight. And that leads to a situation like this one, where there's a very solid chance that it's all going to play out over, I mean, maybe even the next triple altar phase. Because here we are right now, triple altars coming up, and a big opportunity to try and bring this one, well, maybe not to a conclusion, but definitely get a very, very massive lead for one of the two teams. And there's the fight with the Blessed Shield and the kill as Hanzo comes in and takes it on. Also a problem now for Diablo. And in a 5 versus 4 situation, you know that Luna Meow is in real trouble here. Luna Meow is in trouble. The first channel is happening. The Haka, he's getting interrupted. Can't even go for that particular play. They're still trying to make a move for Diablo and nearly get him too here. But the first 4 shots have now been fired and they want the full triple. They set Gul'dan towards the top. They're attempting to isolate them, but maybe they've gone out a little bit too deep. And yes, Jojo gets punished. Jojo gets punished and they will have to give up on the altar. They're moving over to the left side to at least channel the second one. It should give them overall the lead, but now they're losing Gul'dan too. I have no idea what Gul'dan is doing in there. Gul'dan committing honorable Sudoku, at least a counter kill on Diablo, but he's only losing his soul stacks and that's it. So it's 14 kills to 11. Like, what is this game? It's just a full-on fiesta here as teams are going for one kill after another. Without hesitation, it's just kill after kill after kill after kill. And now we have 22 points on the core against 17. Bell tower situation still the same. 5 up on the map, bit of a chase here happening topside. Camps claimed at the bottom of the map, as the pumpkins are now starting to go for the next bell tower. It's just wild. Given how this started, even with this being a combat map, I didn't necessarily believe that we would end up in a situation like this one. But now that they have vision on 3-4 heroes pushing the bot lane, they're just making a move for the boss. And they're gonna get those 4 shots. So they're sacrificing the bottom bell tower in favor of the 4 shots that are gonna be fired up here topside. And that puts the red team down to 13 points. And if they can get a kill on Dehaka, that would be the dream. Where's the entombment he needed? There it is. And now Dehaka, he should fall. It should take them a second, but he dies. So they get the kill, they got the boss, and now they have map control again. This game is awesome. I mean, a lot of unforced errors maybe, but Jesus, what a back and forth. Yeah, don't fight them right now. This is not the battle that you want, boys. You might have to give up that bell tower control at the bottom left. But yeah, this is not really the fight that you want. This is a little bit too spicy now. But okay. The Haka is back in 24 seconds. It's a double altar phase that comes up next. They need to take that bell tower back. And I have no idea why Diablo wants to die, but he is really looking for it. The Entomb is going to be back in 2 seconds. So they get the arrow out, or the meme strike. They try to create some space for themselves and some time. And they actually hold it. I thought, given how aggressive they were throughout the game, I really thought that the blue team would commit to this, wait for the Entomb to come in, and then drop it. But instead, there's 3 shots fired that puts them down to 10 points on the core, and they might even fight for this one too. There's the wall stun. They try to go for Jojo. This time it's not really working out. Entomb is going to be dropped in a second, I believe. Yeah, well, no. Gul'dan, careful. Yeah, he needs to go for the sucky there in the back if he wants to survive through this. Greymane also in a bit of trouble, but Sign gets away. There's the Entomb catching them big time. Oh, but it could be Jojo that falls. They're trying to turn it again. Jojo low, Leo low. Everybody is low, but nobody's dying. I believe Leo is the first one to bite the dust. No, he's alive too. He's still in play. Came in with a consume vitality, I believe. Did somebody die yet? Where did he get the hit points from? Was it just Lucio? I think it was just Lucio healing him up a bit. So another 5 shots fired, this time against the blue team. 17 to 10 points. And they should be able to take this one back. The Haka has moved towards the top in an attempt to ensure that their bell tower here does not get taken. But yeah, it's dead even in the game. Well, at least when it comes to experience and to bell tower control, they're extremely even here. But it is just bananas how this one is playing out now. The damage output, 68,000 for Gul'dan. I mean, he's top damage in the game with his Drain build. We now have with level 20 the Haunt, and more importantly, we have also, of course, the Buried Alive. So this is really the moment when they have to play around Anduin a little bit. But also noteworthy that with the cooldown reduction for Hanzo with his level 20, this is also going to be big for him. And they're even upgrading the bubble. So right now we got the Light of Stormwind right there. Yeah, channel is happening. They're trying to get the kill, and Gul'dan is dead. This might be the one. They go for Lucio. He gets barbecued. Oh boy, and now it's time for Leo to die. It's a triple kill. The late game fights, as in game number 1, it's just advantageous for the red team. They're gonna go for the 5-man team wipe. And it is a double altar. They bubble it up so that they can take this one. Anduin is like, hey, I can use my ult too, and goes full pirate on us. Arrgh. So they take it. How much more can they claim? That's the big question now. It's gonna be at least 10 points off the blue team's score, but the question is simply, can they get the entire thing? I mean, if they can go for more than that, they might be able to snowball this a little bit further, but they need to really push this hard if they want to have a chance here. Now, there's Pumpkins moving down to the bot lane too. Leo should be able to stop them. I think he will be back in time. Yeah, Anduin goes for the first one, playing it safe, and gets the 5 shots fired, but they want to have a little bit more on the top right. I believe that he has to cancel, right? He's gonna cancel this and wait. What? Why would you not get the extra point? There's nobody that can interrupt you. That's nobody. Okay, that was definitely not. That was a mistake. Now, I don't... unlikely that it's going to play a big role, but he should have waited. He should have cancelled the channel a few times and then go for it. It's very likely it's not going to make a difference, but there was a big opportunity here to get an additional point off the team's core. And he hasn't really done anything in the meantime. So now the barrage is starting. They're not going to get too many shots out of this, but every single shot matters. Now, one gets fired. They are at 6 points now. Keep in mind, they could be at 5. Now, if this at any point turns, then we know who's to blame for it. But for now, it's 15 to 16 kills. The red team has taken over. Why does Towers of Doom always deliver? Towers of Doom just never fails to deliver. It is ridiculous. 6 points to 10. They retake the top lane too. So now we have a 5 versus 3 bell tower situation again. Mid lane is also slowly taken, as you can see, so they're starting to bring this one back. But there's an exchange happening nonetheless, since Luna Meow is now collapsing onto the bottom bell tower and is trying to maintain control of the game. But yeah, it's definitely... it's a wild one. I mean, this game is all over the place. It's ridiculous. 82,000 damage for Hanzo. After he hit his level 20, the cooldown reduction really helped him to YOLO out those beam strikes a little bit more. The Haunt is in, but he has only hit Hanzo. That's not quite what they wanted here. But they still... yeah, they lose Jojo. that was not as well played out as they were hoping for. And now they're in deep shit. Because now there's a double altar coming up, and I don't think that they can hold them. Now, again, if that 1 point was off the core that we talked about earlier, a single altar would be enough to win the game. I believe they will be able to take both of these altars. The bottom one has already been channeled by the Haka, so that's already a single point on the core. But they have to move away from this, as the blue team knows their only way to turn the game around is to win the fight now. But they lose Gul'dan, the bubble is up, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is all she wrote. This is going to be a win. Luna Meow is taking a 2-1 lead over Ugly Gary in the best of 5. Another 5-man team wipe as the channel happens and the red team pulls ahead with a 2-1 in the best of 5 series as we are headed to game number 4. Game number 4, Cursed Hollow. A pretty wild series. I honestly really don't know what to make of this one. We went into the game and I honestly had Luna Meow pegged as the favorite. I really thought that with their performance in the first round of the winner bracket and how Ugly Gary was struggling there, that they would be the ones to just completely crush it, especially since they also took second place in their group. And even at that point in time, there was always the question, like, how did they only get in second place? Because they have a lot of name recognition. They played in a lot of the previous tournaments that I commentated. They have a lot of top players on their side, very experienced players too. So it was a huge question mark. And then game number 1 happened, and at the beginning, Ugly Gary playing really well, but then the late game, the big team fights, Luna Meow, they take them, and it seems like, okay, maybe they struggle a bit early on, but that's the team that we expected, and they take the lead. And then game 2 and game 3, completely different performance here. Now, to be fair, Luna Meow is in the lead, and they've just been able to turn the game around on the third map. But the blue team is playing way better than I expected them to. And you can make an argument that they should be the ones with a 2-1 lead or even a 3-0 victory here. So pretty impressed by what they're doing. You can also tell that the ban pattern has completely changed now for Luna Meow. Now, part of this is because the blue team has now first pick. And they decided that they will leave Vala open, so Luna Meow had to ban her out. Tracer and Sylvana still banned, but it left also Alarak open and it left Varian open. And those were heroes that the red team struggled with on the first and the second map. Stukov gets taken right away. We got Sonya coming in now too. It's an interesting one. It's a really, really interesting fourth map because, I mean, technically the red team could now move on to the next round of the losers bracket and kick Ugly Gary out, right? That could happen. Or we're going to a 5-mapper. And we already had some 5-mappers in this tournament that was pretty spectacular. So, yeah. Anduin is in again. They really love Anduin. I mean, he is probably the most played support besides Lucio in this series. And I would expect... I mean, Sukov's already taken, so we're not going to see Lucio. I don't think that anybody is going for a double support with this. But he would have been also a pretty solid choice. So here comes Diablo, and we get Leoric as well. And that gives us one of the front lines that we've seen multiple times now in this series. So Leo, one of the admins, by the way, said that both of the teams don't really know how to play Blaze. That's why they don't pick him, which is kind of wild. But yeah, again, he's not big in the meta here. But if you compare that to European scene, it just seems crazy, right? You have a hero that just excels so much, that is one of the most picked side laners, and he gets completely ignored in the Asian meta, or at least in the meta in this tournament. But they love their Sonya, they love their Leoric. Now we have Greymane. He's coming in too, as a ban, sorry. He gets banned out. With them picking... Diablo, yeah, again, it's a Tiger's ban to safeguard Diablo a little bit. It seems like all of the teams that play Diablo as a main tank are really afraid of Tigers. The percentage damage is, of course, awesome, but that's normally something that a lot of teams try to play around a lot more. But what are we getting from the red team now? It's Anubarak again. They go for Anubarak now. Again, I think this is the 3rd time in the series that they're playing Anubarak. Together with Anduin, this could be a light bomb. Oh, this should be light bomb. We've talked about Anduin taking the bubble over and over again, but now with Genji, you really need to go for that light bomb engage and try to punish the backline. That's still something that they need to do here, I think. Sonya together with the 2. Aggressive stance again. Yeah, there's a few heroes that we have not really seen. Cursed Hollow is another one where you can play Falstad, for example. I mean, even Tyrael would be a good pick here. Looking at this from, again, the European or Western perspective. Oh, now that got scary quickly. What the hell is happening here? We got double support. Uther not doubling at a main tank, but an actual double support with Jimmy. What? Double support with Jimmy on Cursed Hollow now. Okay, we went down the rabbit hole pretty quickly here. Last pick now for the red team, who apparently also have to recover from the shock for just a moment, and they go for Lunara. Up against the double support though, but holy hell, what happened in that draft? Cursed Hollow, everybody. I mean, let's go. Game number 4. It could be the final map in the series, depending on how Lula Meow performs here. But that was definitely quite a spectacular draft that Ugly Gary decided in favor of. Let's go. Game 4. Game number 4, Ugly Gary against Luna Meow. We got Diablo plus Leo at the front, and then all of a sudden a Stukov and Uther double pick with Jimmy as the main damage dealer for the blue team. Yeah, this one is going to be super interesting, especially since they're now also going into the veteran marksman here. Normally you would go for the ace in the hole and try and play around the slows of Stukov, Uther and Leo, but they don't do that. So let's see how much he can actually stack here. He should be able to be aggressive enough in his positioning to get good stacks because of the double support, but they're going up against the dive comp with Anubrak, Sonya, Genji, Anduin and Lunara. So the light bomb engage alone is going to be pretty strong against this. Yeah, I mean, again, double support is going to make it a lot harder, of course, to get that kill, but there's always going to be that pressure against the backline now with it. But I gotta admit that it's been a while since we've seen Jimmy being played. I mean, even on Battlefield of Eternity, he usually doesn't get the time of day anymore. And now we have him with even a stacking build on Cursed Hollow. If they can go into a lot of skirmishes here and get those stacks together, that could be a wild late game. Now they're scaling, of course, thanks to that, but the double support also has to do a good job to keep him alive, and Uther alone at the bot lane is already causing some trouble for Sign, who is able to walk away, but with Anubarak trying to gank up on him with Genji, he already drops low in hit points. So the party still up here in the middle of the map, up towards the top. We got Leoric, he's going up against Sonya. Yeah, I still have to wrap my head around a little bit of what the blue team is doing here. Single stack, by the way. He got one stack off in the early game, and since then we didn't see a single brawl anymore. Would be funny if Luna Meow would just try and play macro for now so that he doesn't get any opportunities to properly stack this. So, yeah. But either way, down to the bottom of the map, we still have Anubarak sitting tight now. Camps are taken all over the place. That's also true for the blue team as they are going for their own bruiser camp. But generally speaking, Luna Meow is a little bit faster when it comes to claiming camps and attempting to push lanes. If that's going to give them an early game lead or not, that's a different question. But yeah, here we go. Down to the bottom of the map, we got Genji doing his thing here. Still pressure through the middle. And with the Behemoth armor now coming in on level 4, this means more stacks for Jimmy. He really wants to be aggressive in these team fights and go for stacking, let the double support keep him alive, be a bit more aggressive around this. And that's where Lunara comes in and is trying to get some damage connected. Nature's Culling and the Natural Perspective are now in as level 1 and level 4 talent for Bambi. With bot lane still our Genji versus Uther battle. Yeah, Uther is definitely going to have a miserable time there. It's all about the late game 5 versus 5 where he gets picked. But for now, he obviously has to hold on to the experience there. Try to lose as little of the lane control as he possibly can. But yeah, we'll see. The first tribute has been announced. That's definitely where we need to see Jimmy try and make some headway on his stacks. This is going to be one of the best possibilities for him to engage in a 5 versus 5 or 4 versus 4 at least, to try and get some stacks together. Positioning is everything, of course, for him. But yeah, this is the moment when he has to do his thing. Yeah, a little bit of free stacking here against Sonya already, so that's kind of nice. Gets that together slowly and steadily, and that's exactly what he needs to do here. Same is happening here. Needs to be careful that he doesn't get baited in too deep. But the longer this fight lasts, the better for the blue team. This is, of course, still early game, but the whole idea here is to scale into the late game. And they even get a kill on the Nubarak. So Nubarak already baited out very early, and they get that hit, and therefore a very quick tribute for the red team. Yeah, well done. 13 stacks and 12 on the level 1 and level 4 for Jimmy. So probably not as much as he was hoping to get out of that skirmish, but they got the tribute quickly, so there's that. Still a win. And also a kill, of course. So level 7 versus level 7. With that, we now, first and foremost, having the build continue with the growing infestation. A bit of a skirmish in the middle of the map again. I was also trying to get a few more hits connected there. Choking Pollen is in. And of course, we're going to get the unstable compound here for Ugly Gary. So, top side, Uther has switched lanes a little bit. as going down to the like, boys, am I the only one that has to deal with Genji? Can we swap that around a little bit? Do I really have to do this the entire game? Can maybe somebody else help me out just a little bit here? And yes, they did exactly that, but now it's actually in the mid lane Diablo that is in trouble. So yeah, someone needs to try and help him out too here. It's just barely working out for them now, but Reyna is dead. Jimmy is down, and that's exactly the one hero that is not really supposed to die. If you're trying to play this particular style, then you should be a little bit careful about the one hero that wants to get the stack together. And yeah, that's not really what went down here. So, kind of problematic for them, but well, continues with another fight over the tribute, but with Jimmy not here, that makes this a bit dicey, and they might have to give this one up just on that fact alone. I think that's very likely going to be what's happening here. They're already moving in again. Jimmy is back. Maybe too little too late. No, they're going for the kill on Lunara instead. So just in time to get the hits connected. The double support keeping them alive. All that sustain working in their favor. Diablo alive still. I have no idea how that happened. And he's still able to dodge out. Genji wants him and Genji gets him. They are getting a kill on Nubarak on the other hand. So it seems that the blue team still walks away with a second tribute to their name. And more stacks for Jimmy. So he died, but came back in time. Level 10 abilities are coming up next. That's, again, a wild early game. Bosses are obviously by now up as well, so that's something that later on Ugly Gary could try and fight for too. It's all that sustain that they have. With double support, you can always sustain yourself through fights just so much better. And that's also one of the theories oftentimes when you're going up against somebody like Lunara, if you can get all of that damage negated. But now we have, first of all, we get the Leaping Strike, so she can reposition herself a bit during these fights. And we also have the Divine Storm. So that's a little bit of an anti-Genji pick that they have here. They could have gone for the Divine Shield to protect their hyper carry a little bit more, aka Jimmy. But at the same time, you are now with the extra stun in a position where if Genji engages too aggressively, you can take him down. And notice how Anduin hasn't taken an ult yet. So I was talking about earlier how him going into a light bomb would help them to get the light bomb engaged with Genji, which is the traditional pick in any Western tournament. And now they go for the bubble again. It is wild. Makes a little bit more sense if they are trying to prevent... I mean, again, there are a couple of arguments in favor of it, I suppose. But I still highly doubt that you would see that from a North American or European team. And this is now the third time in this series alone that we've seen them with a bubble build for Anduin, which is just crazy. I mean, this is a talent that we literally have seen in the last, I want to say, 6 months, maybe once or twice in Europe and North America, if at all. So, yeah, over here, the meta differences, they are very clear. Jimmy in the game, there's the stun, exactly what we just talked about a second ago. Genji stunned out fully, they get the kill, they get the stacks, now they want to have another one. Beautiful Entomb, the bubble immediately being used by Anduin though, and that might ruin the play, but they are still getting killed, huh? Maybe not, Leo instead falls, but the stun against Lunara puts an end to Bambi. So Lunara is dead, and they get the Sonya kill as well. Nice! Hit after hit, 6 kills to 3, and it is again Ugly Gary that pulls ahead, and they have a chance for the curse, and they're gonna get it. The curse against Luna Meow, and they are diving deep underneath the fort, of course. The boss that has been claimed earlier by the red team has taken the top fort down on the other hand, so there's at least a bit of counter pressure happening. The boss is now defeated by the minions, but as the blue team is just racking up a kill after... Why go for the fort? I don't get it. This is the perfect situation to attack here and let the minions deal with the fort. This is wasted time. This is one of those plays I really don't want to see. If the red team is there with 5 players, then it makes a bit more sense that you are careful because you don't know what is behind the wall. But if you already kill 2 and you're playing a 5 versus 3, then this is the perfect moment to push directly for the keep, let the minions deal with the fort, and try and maximize your gains. Down to the bottom of the map, another fort is in trouble, but here in the middle they're still pushing, and they have such a great comp to get the damage connected here. The sustain is there, very little for Genji to do, and now 8-9 minutes into the game we're gonna see the first keep fall. The bottom fort has been destroyed, the keep in the middle is about to go down. They should really try to make sure that it falls though. Yeah, and Diablo dives in deep. There's the hits, and that's the end of it. Even if they lose a hero or 2 here, that would be worth it. But instead, they are the ones turning around and taking Sonya down. So with 9 kills to 3. What a performance here in game number 4 by Ugly Gary. They want to hold on to this. They want to make it to game number 5 and really put it all on the table. We now got the pull, not the double pull yet, but the lion speed, so it's already moving towards the synergy. We have the boss down at the bottom of the map. Big waves pushing in here, as well as the red team is fully conscious of the fact that there might be a move for the boss. But they let Nuburak be trapped, and he is dead. And guess what? Anduin, he can run all he wants, going to try for the French defense here again. But he can run as fast as he wants. He's going to die. He's going to die for sure. Look how Diablo is cutting him off here. Diablo is already cutting him off. There's the wall stun. Anduin gets popped like a pimple. He's dead, and now the path to the boss is fully open. Jimmy has 36,000 damage by now. But yeah, it is just bananas. So much aggression here. So many big plays now being made by the team in blue. The Gary boys, they are just murdering here. It's honestly a beautiful engage that they're showcasing, and it's really working well for them. With the boss taken, they can now push through the bottom of the map. And I think one of the most important aspects of this push is that they now also have a level 16 advantage that is going to kick in a few more moments, which means a talent lead and a boss at the 10-minute mark in an attempt to get the second keep of the game destroyed. And that could work. That could definitely work out for them. They're trying to go for it. They're already moving in. So yeah, this is a big opportunity, especially now that they have been addiction as well. Big talent, of course, for Uther. And off we go. Keep number 2, yes or no? Sonya has been taking camps everywhere, trying to safeguard the mid lane a little bit and also the top. Oh, that's a big miss. Yeah, that Divine Storm not hitting, that is a big miss for sure. So that is unfortunate. But the fight continues and Sonya falls. She gets eliminated and then Tomb hits Anduin. He's down again. They might even go for core here. They're going for the second keep. The map is falling apart. Luna Meow is having so much trouble here. Bambi hops away. Diablo, he might fall. They keep him alive. Bambi is dead. And now the core is wide open. Only Genji and Nuburak are here for the defense. And I don't think they're going to be enough. The boss is still alive. Genji is dead. We're going to go to game number 5, everybody. Game number 5 in this series. What a match in the loser bracket between Ugly Gary and Luna Meow. We're going to go to the final map as the blue team locks in the W on Cursed Hollow. Nicely done. GG. Well played. Well, Sky Foundry, we're on the 3rd map, everybody. It's a wild series. I mean, honestly, this thing is just all over the place. The entire... From the first map, it was crazy. Back and forth, comebacks happening, a team pulling ahead, the other team turning it around. A crazy series, and a very entertaining one too. The double support Jimmy actually won. So double support Jimmy was making it work for the blue team on the 4th map on Cursed Hollow. Now we're heading into Volskaya Foundry. And the big question is, of course, can they do it again? Which team moves on? We are in the losers bracket. So only one team can come through with this. And it's kind of crazy. It's really funny. Yeah, and of course we have a lot more matches left too. Like, we are pretty much down to the final 5 teams, and you can tell that these teams are a lot closer in skill to each other. So yeah, it's really fun. But again, we have now Lucio as an option still available on Volskaya Foundry to be picked. Stukov at least has been banned out. The 3 supports that has been picked the most time is Stukov, Lucio, and Anduin in this series. So I would expect that both of them are going to make an appearance again in one way, shape, or form. We now have, with Stukov banned out, at least, you know, the lurking arm eliminated. It seemed to be one of the big problems that Luna Meow had in plenty of the games, honestly. But what do they walk away with the first pick? Is it going to be Lucio first pick again, as they've been now picking? I mean, they took him multiple times in the past, but Tracer is up. Not really a first pick, I would say, though. And they go for Jojo, so they want to have the position on the, I was about to say beacon, but the checkpoint. So that helps them to not only rotate between the lanes and get the wave clear in, but also to hold the position a little bit longer. But this leaves quite a few of the supports and also the traditional picks between these teams, two teams open. And I say this all the time, but it's absolutely true. If you have a best of 5, then you can see that towards the end of a best of 5, there is a certain meta that evolves between the two teams, where they are really starting to appreciate the opponent's preference picks and are trying to get rid of them. And there is a bit of a battle over certain picks here. And Leo, again, being banned out highlights that. Same for Stukov. Now, we get a Thrall, and that's kind of new. Thrall claimed, could be the Trash Lightning, of course. Diablo and Sonya. Yeah, Sonya is also super interesting. I mean, by the way, since we haven't seen a Sonya in a long time, for everybody that is watching this just recently, take a closer look at the Sonya image over there. Look at that image, look at that face, and then think Eminem with an orange wig. Now, you won't ever be able to unsee that. If you didn't know that already, now it's going... Every single time you look at Sonya from now on, you're going to think about that. Anduin is banned. But yeah, we don't get a lot of Sonyas in the Western scene, so I don't get to remind people of that every now and then. But yeah, Eminem going full Braveheart with an orange wig. Look at Sonya's face and don't tell me that we got something there. But either way, Anduin gets banned out, which leaves Lucio as a potential choice. Alarak gets also banned. Yeah, he played a big role in the first 2 games. And we'll see. With Alarak now banned, are we going to get... This is another map where you could go for Gul'dan, honestly. They picked him earlier on Towers of Doom. This is another one where technically he would be a solid pick. But I love how both of the teams are not even going into a support up to this point. I think we're now finally getting the first one. But it's pretty interesting that they have been so much prioritizing supports throughout all of the drafts, and now they're letting this slide very heavily. So we got Tacita and we have Brightwing, with the final 2 picks coming in for Luna Meow. I have no idea which team is going to take it. They have been playing such a crazy series. It was so bananas. And now here comes the final 2 picks for the red team. And it's Maiev and Deckard Cain. First time that we're getting a Maiev in this series. And we get the old geezer. Yeah, well, if you get to level 20 and then you have to still fight over an objective, if you have the bottomless flask, like, whew, you can set up for days. Whereas Sign is now coming in with the final pick here on the blue team side. And what do we get? It is Imperius. A triple frontline, everybody. So here we are, Volskaya Foundry. The final map, the stage is set. Let's find out together which team moves on to the next round of the losers bracket and which team drops out of the Skyline Cup. Ugly Gary against Luna Meow, and we have game number 5 on Volskaya Foundry in front of us. The final map. Diablo, Sonya and Imperius for the blue team. Heavy front line, lots of CC and damage here, with Tacita as the only range damage dealer and Brightwing being played as the support for the blue team. Whereas Luna Meow plays Maiev, Thrall and Jojo, so both teams with a triple front line. Thrall, obviously, he can still poke from a distance. His 10 is going to be interesting. We got the Trolling Thunder here on level 1. And Hanzo plus Deckard Cain to round out the draft. But let's get the show on the road here. It was a wild series, a wild ride. And I want to know which team is able to clutch it out and continue in the tournament. But for now, bit of a skirmish in the middle, the 5 versus 5. The teams like to brawl. We've seen this over and over again in these games, and this is not gonna be an exception here. They're gonna go for another big hit, or at least they're trying to. No kills so far, but they attempt to turn it against, yeah, Thrall. And Maiev is also starting to drop some hit points, but the same is also true on the blue team side. So as is, we now have slowly and steadily the team starting to organize onto all 3 lanes. Of course, with the 1 minute mark in reach, that's the time when we're going to have the camps spawn and the items spawn, which is even more important. We'll see who goes for the camps here, who's going to try and make a play around that. For now, at least, it's just experience that they're focusing on and those minion waves, but already we have the blue team over here trying to get the first turret. And the same is pretty much happening on the red team side too, so everybody is trying to make their moves now, get a couple of items together. Question is, of course, are they also going to try and make a play for the healing beacon? Or are they just all gonna let that slide? That's the one thing that we still have to figure out here a little bit. But I mean, generally speaking, this is exactly what you would expect from this game so far. Just doing the due diligence on this one before the first objective spawns. And that's really where things could change a little bit. Because this is one of those typical maps where we not always go full aggressively on the first objective. Especially the early protectors are not really all that powerful, so you could also try and just side lane push a little bit. Go for the team fights here. Doesn't really seem that anybody is making a move necessarily yet for the healing beacon, but we have level 4 ability still. And we already get the electrical fence here. Now the combo between Tacita and Diablo has always been an interesting one, because Tacita can provide another wall for Diablo to stun a target into. Same is obviously true for the combo of Diablo and Leoric, but especially with this comp, this could happen. And there it is already. A beautiful wall. Very quickly built, great wall, and they're gonna try and make the red team pay for it. It's tremendous. Such a great wall. Tacita, he's amazing. He's tremendous. So yeah, Tacita doing his thing, trying to set Diablo up. The stun was not quite angled right, so he didn't really hit it properly. But now they're leaving Jojo no way out of the situation. So down she goes. That's a quick kill, and also first blood for the blue team. We're kind of used to that by now. They seem to be always the ones that pull ahead initially in the team fights. It's the late game where Luna Meow usually shines, if they can get there on an even footing. But it is a play for the first protector now by the red team as they're starting to come in here. We got the Fell Resilience on level 4. Also in the case of Hansa now with the Ignore All Distractions. So let's go. Tacita is still poking this out time and time again. And the wall out over and over again. But yeah, let's not forget about Imperius here either, because he is just providing the added stun, as I said earlier. And the cool thing about Imperius is also he cannot only double as a tank, but he can also at the same time come through and get an enormous amount of damage unleashed on the opponent when played correctly. Has the sustain too, but yeah, CC damage, the man has it all. There's a reason why he has been played for a long time, even as a main tank, not only as a side laner. Comes in again, haha, but good dodge. Nicely done by Jojo. Juking this out a little bit. And level 7, we now get the Emerald in from Deckard Cain. And they have the first turrets also out on the map. So with 81%, it seems that Ugly Gary might just get the first protector. Yeah, tether by Maiev. They try and force the fight. Nice connect against Thrall. It's Maiev who's in trouble, but she is able to get away. The protector has already been claimed on the other hand. So now they have objective 1 and can maybe just drop that wall in the middle. Yeah, Brightwing is helping out a bit, so now the rest of the team has to be careful, but they're even chasing Thrall down here at the bottom of the map. And here we go. Play towards the top, try and take some of the structures down. Usually the first one isn't really doing too much damage. Most of the time in the past you were just trying to open up the top wall and destroy the fountain. Now that's not possible anymore without taking the fort itself, so these days it just is a question of how many structures can you take. And hello, Maiev. She is being a little bit aggressive here, way too aggressive. And Maiev gets punished. Committing Sudoku here and just getting crushed. So that's 2 kills to 0 at a level lead. And they're continuing to destroy the wall. The entire thing has been taken out. With them running a 5 versus 4, and at the top lane, therefore 4 versus 3. They might even be looking for some kills, but instead it is the next item that they're interested in. Ugly Gary, honestly, if you would really just like put me on the spot and ask me which team do you think deserves it more to advance to the next round, I would probably say Ugly Gary. They impressed me. They were the ones that played it very clean in a lot of the games. And I think right now they very much regret that they kind of screwed up the late game on map number 1 a little bit, which is where Luna Meow pulled ahead in the series. So there was a chance for Ugly Gary to win the first one on Infernal Shrines, and that would have won them the game on the 4th map. But right now we get a very aggressive position from them with their level 10 abilities. They come straight in with Leap on Sonya. Now so far Sonya has been played as the as a side lane tank, second tank, so to say. But right now they got Imperious too, so Sonya is coming in for an even heavier CC chain and for a heavier engage, and she could come in already. Level 10 for both sides now. We get the Lul Nado for the maximum amount of lulls here by Deckard Cain. Look at him. Ooh, big hit, big stun, big kill. Sonya with the play, and they get a double kill as Jojo dies. Nicely done. And they get a triple. Oh my god. That's going to be a quad kill. They are crushing them. They are absolutely murdering them here. And it all started with Sonya. Look at that leap. Check that leap out. She comes in from the bot, jumps in, gets the leap, and even with Thrall's attempt to use Sundering to disrupt all their combos, it's a quad kill at the end of the play. 6 kills to 0, 1.5 level lead, a fort destroyed. Absolutely murdering them here and capitalizing on those kills even further in the mid lane as they take another wall down. That's exactly the way that they can set themselves ahead, put themselves in a position to win game number 5 and continue in the tournament. But of course we're not there just yet. But it is exactly the opening they've been hoping for. Another leap, another wall, another kill. They go for Thrall and they take him down. Easy kills by them, even trying to look for another one. The stun is there, Jojo moves away, but they are taking the structures down one after another. That is some fancy play now by Ugly Gary. I mean, Gary might be ugly, but he is damn good. So, yeah, they are doing their thing. And here we go. You know, there's one advantage when you're ugly. Usually when you're ugly, that also means you don't have a girlfriend unless you have a lot of money. And that means more time for games, you know? More time for training, more time to invest into Heroes of the Storm and hone your skills. Make sure that you get all of those stuns collected, that the coordination is there, and it works. The only one that hasn't died yet on the red team is Deckard Cain. The old boomer staying away from them, social distancing in 2022 to the day. Another kill, another leap. Jesus, these things are on point. The third leap, and just look what they're doing here. They're going through them like hot butter through cheese. Even the old geezer has now been taken out. See you later, boomer. He's dead. 11 kills to 0, and potentially another fort that they can take. This is nuts. They are murdering them. Luna Meow is turning into a meek kitten right here. They're going for the next objective now too. 9 minutes in, a 2-level lead. More than a 2-level lead. 2 forts destroyed, bot lane pressured. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. They're toying with them. They're absolutely toying with them. Blue team is all over the place and they're punishing every single movement by their opponent. It is honestly a beautiful... I mean, it's a beauty to behold. They're doing such a good job here with this. It's a bit bananas. Very well done. But again, not over yet. We've seen crazy comebacks from Luna Meow in this series. This is one of the reasons why it went to the 5th map in the first place. So what Ugly Gary has to do now is to really play it smart and diligent. Make no mistakes here. Another play for Jojo. She doesn't stand a chance. She should fall here. Try to stay alive as best as she could, but it's another kill against the frontliner. That's 12 kills to 0. They went for the full dozen. Now we have them also about to lock in the next protector. They nearly have level 16. They're pushing the top lane. The idea is obviously to get a keep here. With a 3... I mean, are you kidding me? 3-level lead right now. They are brutalizing them. Brightwing with a phase out on level 16. Bit of an adjustment here, but as Jojo is still down, sorry, not Jojo, Sonya is still down at the bottom of the map. We're now seeing at the top the push for the keep. I don't think they're going to get it. Now that Sonya is coming in, Jojo's coming in too. They might get a few kills here. Where's that leap when you need it? There it is, but it's too late. Tacita is down. First kill for the red team, but they're losing Thrall again, and Jojo's already on the run. Maiev is also finding herself in trouble on the left side of this fight. Whereas Johanna, she's trying to get out of this one. Gets stunned again. Diablo connects, and they get the kill again. 16, 17, and they go for the keep, or at least they try to. Now, I'm not sure if they can grab it, but yeah, it's a 3 versus 3 now. With Brightwing and Tacita both dying, they won't be able to sustain this. Now, at the bottom of the map, thanks to Sonya and all the work that she's done here, the fort is now down to 50% of its HP. So they're getting ahead here. But, well, game is not over yet. Red team is fighting back as best as they can. And once they have level 16, that is really when they are going to have an opportunity. Now, with the lead in experience, with the lead in talents, what needs to be done by Ugly Gary is, first of all, the bottom fort needs to be destroyed. They're already on it. And as long as they have the level 16 lead, they probably want to take the camp away too. Steal one of the turrets, get the item advantage here on Volskaya Foundry, which should give them a great spot also for the third objective, which is going to spawn at the bottom of the map. So they get the extra turret. And they have now another one that they can claim on the left side as well. That's a freebie, of course. We have at the top Thrall playing it safe. Hearthing back. He thinks he's getting ganked. They don't know where they are. With full HP and mana, he's pretty much just hearthing back right now. And apparently thought that there's a rotation towards him, which didn't really happen. Instead, it's now Jojo who gets bodied again. Fully body blocked here. They're disconnecting with Diablo to create some space for Johanna. Even the Lulnado is being dropped to make sure that she is able to escape. And she gets out, but they were sacrificing quite a few cooldowns to make that work. And to be fair, that same is true for Ugly Gary. But they're now trying for the healing beacon here. So off we go. Big arrow, double stun. Diablo in trouble. Diablo gets stunned again by the Sundering, and he dies. The counter kill attempt on Thrall. The War Chief down, and the fight not over by a long shot. Imperius is dead, but look at Tacita crushing them here. Dropping Maiev first. They want to go for Johanna. That didn't quite work. Brightwing with the insist on Tacita. Lulnado is out, but Brightwing is low and is going to be taken down by Hanzo. Hanzo gets the kill shot in. And that is 5 kills to 16. Still a 2-level lead. But they're gaining a little bit more ground. I mean, the nice position... Oh, well, I don't know. It's a little bit weird. But now they have level 16 at least, you know. So with even talents, they can engage into these fights. And as long as they're trading evenly here, it means that they're closing the experience gap. Now, it's not happening quickly. It's happening fairly slowly. But again, the gap is slowly being closed. Every time that you trade kills with an opponent that is ahead of you in XP, you're going to get a slight advantage through the underdog lead that they have. The problem, of course, is that it's more or less negated by the fact that the passive experience is heavily increasing for Ugly Gary, since they have taken 3 of the main structures out already. Oh, I don't think he aimed for that one. I don't think he aimed for Imperius, and if anything, that it's a bit wild that Imperius didn't see that one coming and reacted to it. But the initial target was not hit. They are still able to take Diablo down. So now, all of a sudden, we have Luna Meow doing a bit better in these team fights, and it helps them to get that healing beacon. It still means that level 20 will have, will give a big advantage to Ugly Gary. But you can really tell that they're slowly and steadily getting a little bit ahead here in team fights. Now, is that too little too late, or is that just in time to turn the game around a bit? That's the big question here. And I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But it definitely is making things a bit more interesting at this point in time. Because it could change the dynamic of what's going on here quite significantly. By no means is this over yet. The blue team still has an advantage, of course, for very good reason. But this is not over yet. And now even a steal on the cap, if they can get a kill here, that would be glorious. With Diablo down, even the ult had to be used now by Imperius. So now you're in a situation where a lot of the cooldowns had to be burned again. They have level 20, which of course gives them a big lead. But, there it is, the leap! These leaps by Sonya have been so damn good throughout the entire game. And it gives them an advantage once again. Sonya is now going for the checkpoint. But look at the experience gap. It's nearly closed. So there is a chance for Luna Meow to come back. This game isn't over. They need to take structures down and need to start doing this quickly. They are the ones that are in danger of losing one of their keeps here too. But this game is very interesting at this point. Yeah. Top side, still an attempt to go for the keep, I guess, but they have to be careful. Once that Thrall is back, he will have access to Sundering. Level 20 talents now for both teams. I would still assume that this is a freebie down here and a guaranteed one. But to be honest, a couple of team fights here could turn the favor in on the side of Luna Meow. We got the Tornadoes now, but look at this. Already bouncing them around, trying to escort them away. The Tornadoes are there. Good wall stun, good leap, and great kill. Jesus, the coordination on some of these plays is fantastic. They're all low, but they're getting the damage in. Sundering is out. They have... Oh, the wall! What a fucking wall! They built the wall and they made Luna Meow pay for it. Finally, Sonya is taken, but she traded against Deckard Cain, so now the support is gone. 19 kills to 7. I mean, at some point they need to decide what they want to do. Do they want to try and push for a keep, or do they try and go for the objective and take the protector? This is getting bananas here. I mean, absolutely bonkers. What a fifth map. The entire series has been crazy. But it just continues. So many good stuns, kills, and combos from the blue team. But they only walk away with a tiny advantage that maybe helps them to take the wall down here. It's all about what happens when Sonya is back. So, yeah, they get the protector. They got that. The invisible friends are playing out too. And they take the protector quickly. Sonya back in 12. And where are they headed? It seems like they are aiming for that top lane. They want that top lane keep, apparently. But Luna Meow is defending. They are still trying their best here. I mean, 6 kills against Thrall. And now, with level 20, again, we got the Tornadoes. So not the bottomless flask, but the Tornadoes are in. And up at the top, with a 12-kill lead, we now have the push for keep number 1 in this game. And they should get it for free. I mean, again, this bad boy is gonna... Yeah, the keep is gonna fall. Question is, what else can they do? And if they get a kill here, look how many stuns we're getting. Another push, and that is the end of Maiev. Goodbye, girl. She's gone. Maiev is dead, and you know what? Thrall might die too. He drops the Sundering, gets pushed out by the Protector. You can kiss your life goodbye. As the leap is locking him down once again. The spin to win is just too much for Thrall to handle. Now they're isolating Jojo too. Also in trouble. Another hit. She escapes, but the keep, it can't run. Keeps can't move. And that's why it's going down. Keep is down. Hanzo is down. That should be game. I mean, come on, there's only 2 defenders, and it's Jojo and Deckard Cain. The old guy can hit him with a stick a little bit, but that's all he can do. And Johanna, she can blind them, but that's not going to be enough here. So they are going for gold. Ugly Gary, not so ugly anymore. Coming in, dropping the shield on the core. Starting to make the play for the series, and it is an absolute spectacular victory on Volskaya Foundry that the blue team pulls off here. They are the ones to move on in the tournament, and they drop Luna Meow out of the competition. The blue team moves on as the red team gets eliminated. GG, and well played.